A production of Next to Normal that premiered at the Donmer Warehouse in 2023 and then later transferred to the West End in 2024 received a Proshot that is now streaming on PBS until June 30th, 2025. And I mean PBS's website. That's how I watched it. I'm also going to leave you the link in my description below. When we talk about the show today, I'm going to be leaving out one very specific key story detail, which if you know the show, you probably know what I'm talking about. But the reason I'm doing this is because if you've never seen the show before, it's really cool to go on that journey with the characters for the first time. Now, that being said, if you do know the story, but you've never seen it live, you're still going to enjoy watching it. At least I feel that sort of is what happened to me. I saw the original production probably when I was way too young. I will never forget being at my orthodontist appointment, and they always had televisions playing daytime TV. And I remember seeing the commercial for Next to Normal. The song Just Another Day was playing in the background, and I was listening to the harmonies and listening to the music. And at that time, I don't think I had ever quite really seen like a rock opera before, and it just looked really intriguing to me. So after my braces got tightened, I ran to my mom and I said, I want to go see this show. Again, I was way too young to see it, but they let me into the theater. I had gone in with someone having already sort of described to me what the show was really about. And it didn't ruin anything for me, but I did have that feeling of, oh, you know, that would have been cool not to know going into the show. But again, I still loved it. So also, if you are a fan of the show and you're trying to convince others to see it or watch it, try not to spoil the surprises for others, because after all, it's exciting to see the show for the first time without knowing anything. Now, like I said, I did see the original production. I actually saw it twice, once with the original cast, and then I saw the replacement cast, which means that I was fortunate enough to see the late, great Marin Mazzie in the role of Diana before the show closed. But it's cool to see the differences between that original production and then what they did here with this version. I think that the original production, to its benefit, felt a lot more soap opera-y in a way, like not fully melodramatic, but it was a bit detached from reality, which is oddly appropriate for a show like this. But here, this version of the show just feels so real and so grounded in reality that honestly, at times, I had to take a break. The characters would be going through something tough, and I was like, yeah, I think I should phone a friend right now and then get back to it later. The set designs are a perfect example for what I'm talking about here, with the original Broadway set feeling a bit more abstract and bare bones, with this one feeling much more put together and like a real kitchen with real running water. When that faucet turned on and the water came out, I was like, oh, it's going down. It just felt so like life. And I think that was really the point of this production, was to make it feel very real to audiences. And I appreciate that Michael Longhurst, who directed this production, it felt very much like he had something to say. Like there were a couple of themes that I really observed and identified with and then thought about after watching the recording. One of those being that treating mental health conditions is ongoing. And I think we see the character of Dan, played here by Jamie Parker. Dan makes the mistake of thinking that there's just this perfect solution that's going to help their family get back to normal that they just haven't found yet. And I think doesn't realize that in treating Diana's mental health condition, that it's an ongoing process. I also walked away with the idea that mental health conditions are so specific to each individual that it is often difficult to find correct treatments, or treatments keep changing. Like it's never an exact science when it comes to these conditions, but the show reminds you to keep trying. We see Diana, played here by Caissie Levy, exhausted trying to find the right fix. This version of Diana was fighting, and I could tell that she wanted to get better for herself and for her family. And I applaud Caissie Levy and director Michael Longhurst for finding those opportunities and taking full advantage of when they could show Diana making an effort to try to get better, they would show it. And I really appreciated seeing that. But on the other side of that coin, we do know that Diana's really struggling, because if she does fully choose to get better, she loses something that's really important to her. And we see that turmoil with the character. And I just thought that was so well realized. Eleanor Worthington-Cox plays Natalie like she is one step away from a nervous breakdown at all times. And you can really feel the character's fear that she's going to turn into her mother. And therefore, there are some complications to her own personal growth because she's letting these things hold her back from happiness. Like, she very much sabotages herself. Natalie's entire life has been focused on her mom's struggles. And also, Natalie has been overshadowed by her brother, Gabe, played by Jack Wolfe. And all I can say is that this is Gabe. It was so amazing. I love this portrayal of this character. I felt his motivation. I won't give anything away, but what I can say is that I think it really bothers him that his relationship to his dad and to his sister are not as strong as his relationship is with his mother. So I just thought that that was such an interesting way to approach the character. And not only is Jack Wolfe a brilliant actor, but he also sings this role perfectly. His voice sounded so right for this character. I was talking about the original Broadway production being a little bit of a soap opera. It's so funny to me. I was thinking of Aaron Tveit's portrayal of the character, and I just love that it felt like the creative team was like, how are we going to make people fall in love with Gabe as quickly as possible? And then someone was like, I know, let's have Aaron Tveit go on stage wearing nothing but boxers. That'll do it. And, they were right. But here, Gabe comes across as much more of a realistic high schooler without the abs of a superhero. Jack Wolfe himself has such an innocent, boyish look to him. It makes the scenes where there's that switch and it becomes something more sinister all the more frightening. And I just thought that was so well realized. I mean, this Gabe is just so manipulative. That made him incredibly dangerous. So should you watch Next to Normal before it leaves PBS's website on June 30th, 2025? It's free. Like, why not? It's there. And if you're a fan of theater or if you're a fan of the show and you've never seen it, absolutely go and watch it. Again, the link is in my description. I am hopeful that it will find its way onto another streaming service or be able to be rented out eventually. And the reason I think that is because there's a lot of cursing in Next to Normal. And because they filmed it for PBS, all of the cursing was dubbed over with very questionable replacements, if you ask me. But they did record the production without that dubbing in the first place. So I have a feeling that if they were to release it on another streaming service or for rent, that they would release the uncensored version. So let's see. And just remember, it is a very dark and at times upsetting show. So just be cautious of that before watching it in your home if there's others around. Do I see this production coming to Broadway? If I was on the team making this decision, I would push for not right now. I would delay it a little bit. I think that most audiences are looking for more comedies at this moment on Broadway. I know it's incredibly popular amongst people who love Next to Normal, and it has a great cast and it's a well done production, but I just wonder if general audiences are ready to see a show like this and for it to therefore become a success. Those are my thoughts on Next to Normal, now playing on PBS's website. You can use the link in my description to watch it there, only until June 30th, 2025, and then it is going off. I would love to read your thoughts in the comments section below. I would also really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to check out some of my other reviews and theater-related content on my channel. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay off your phone while at the theater.